It's like a time machine. When you're going back into those things, I see what's happened.
In the basement of City Hall, history is being saved.
This is an amazing project of preserving 45 years of the issues of the Seattle Gay News, one of the most long-lived and beloved newspapers for the gay community, LGBT community in the U.S.
After the paper's longtime owner, George Bacon, died in 2020, former Seattle Chief Librarian Marcellus Turner wondered what would happen to all the paper's back issues.
The newspapers were piled in storage lockers, outside, in offices, and we had to assemble literally hundreds and hundreds of boxes and bring them here to City Hall, to the city archives, and then begin the process of sorting and organizing. From 1974 through today, there's a lot of paper here.
A lot of paper means a lot of work.
We have to go through the boxes one by one, and we have to be really careful that we put them all in order, they're all in sequence, and they're complete.
6, 7.
Week by week.
Volume 13.
Month by month.
87, 88.
Year by year.
12 issues.
With the help of the Seattle Municipal Archives.
Oh, this is the March on Washington.
Volunteers work their way through history.
So I wanted to come down here myself and educate a little bit more about the deep history that no one is reading about.
It's a history that former councilmember Rasmussen not only lived, but helped to shape.
I am in some of these papers, and that's one of the remarkable things about the Seattle Gay News. The SGN fiercely supported people who were leaders, who wanted to be leaders.
You can go through any one of these papers and you will find important people doing important things that not many people ever heard about.
It's those stories, those people, that Seattle Gay News put in print.
They recognized people who were fighting actively at great cost to their privacy and their personal lives.
Stories of soldiers fighting for the right to serve, stories of heroes, and stories of struggle.
Or every issue there was a story, typically above the fold on the front page, of someone in the community, either someone known or someone unknown, who was the victim of violence. And that was a weekly occurrence at one point in our history.
This is something shocking to see, is just the extent of the crisis of violence and discrimination against the community.
These articles were fairly frequent. There's one, there's another, called names. Guys jump out of the cars in front of a gay bar and beat up a gay man. Those were included too. So those are the kind of articles that were front page on the SGN, but they might have been buried, if reported at all, in any of the more traditional newspapers.
And there was another story the paper refused to ignore.
There was a new disease. It was killing people quickly, and it was mostly gay men, and it was called the gay cancer.
SGN reported on the new sickness weekly.
And so you see this scary reporting starting, and you wonder what the hell, at that time we were wondering what the hell is going on. People are getting sick and dying. And they produced, I think, one of the most startling images of the early days of AIDS. These are the names of people who died of AIDS. Goes on. In Seattle. There, page after page after page. That's fine print.
Well, we can look back today and have a perspective that kind of glosses over the pain or even the celebration and joy that was experienced.
The pain, the joy, in black and white.
This is a fun one. The Village People made their one and only appearance in Seattle.
From a one-page newsletter to pride editions as thick as the Sunday Times, the Seattle Gay News has been the first draft of history for a community.
The LGBT community and their history is just as important as anybody else's history, so it's very important that it be saved and it be shared and passed on to future generations.
Our lives today didn't just happen by chance. What we have in our community, the LGBT community specifically, is a result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and the details of that, how that was done, is recorded in the paper. And that recording, that history helps to ensure that the truth is told and people really understand more about themselves and our community and why we are the community that we are.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattle.gov.